Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to solve Cambridge International AS and A-Level Mathematics Paper 2, Pure Mathematics 2 in session May-June 2024, Paper 2-1. So let's start with the first question. Question number 1, a curve has equation. This is the equation of the curve for x is between 0 and pi by 2. Find the x coordinate of the stationary point of the curve. Give your answer correct to three significant figures. Okay, so we need to figure out the stationary point and only the x coordinate of the stationary point. Okay, as we know that for stationary point, we need to put first derivative equals to 0, right? Dy over dx is equals to 0. Okay, so first we need to figure out what is d by dx of the function y, which is 2 tan x minus 5 sin x, and then we need to put it equals to 0, right? So 2 is a constant. Find out the derivative of tangent x. Minus 5 is a constant. D by dx of sin x equals to 0. Right. The derivative of tangent x is secant square x. Minus 5 is as it is. Derivative of sin x is cos x equals to 0. Secant is basically the reciprocal of cos, 1 over cos square x minus 5 cos x equals to 0. Right. Okay, now this is 2 minus 5 cos cube x divides cos square x. 2 times 1 is 2 and minus 5 cos x with cos square is cos cube. This is equals to 0. Cross multiply 2 minus 5 cos cube x equals to 0. Minus 5 cos cube x equals to minus 2. When you shift the positive 2 on the other side becomes negative 2. So cos cube x would be equals to minus 2 divides minus 5. Cancel the two negative signs. What is 2 by 5? 0.4. Cos cube x is 0.4. Okay. And now we have to take a cube root on both sides. Cube root and the cube root. And whenever we do the cube root, the answer should be in plus minus. So here we have cos x and here we have plus minus cube root of 0.4. Now here we have two cases, right? So the first case, the solution is cos x is cube root of 0.4 and the other one is cos x is minus cube root of 0.4. Okay. Now the first thing is to find out the base angle. And the base angle for this. Now to get the base angle, we have to say x is equals to cos inverse of cube root of 0.4. And here x would be equals to cos inverse of cube root of 0.4. So whenever we are finding the base angles, we are not considering the negative signs, right? Now the domain we have given is from 0 to pi by 2, right? Pi by 2 means in radians. Your calculator must mean radians, right? Now we can easily calculate what is cos inverse cube root of 0.4. Cos inverse cube root of 0.4. 0.7. X is 0.74246. Okay, and this angle is also 0.74246. This is in radians, right? Okay, now the domain we have given is from 0 to pi by 2. All right, and this equation says cos is positive and this says cos is negative. Let me draw the coordinate diagram and check cos is positive and negative in which quadrant according to the given domain. So this is a coordinate diagram In coordinate diagram, in the first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios are positive, sine positive, tangent is positive, and here cos is positive, right? So the domain we have given is from 0 to 2 pi. 0 is included, but 2 pi is not included. Sorry, pi by 2. This is 0 and this is pi by 2. Only this region is given to us. And here all trigonometric ratios are positive. So according to the given domain, which case you have to consider? The positive one or the negative one. Cos is positive in first and fourth quadrant, but according to the given domain, cos is positive in just first quadrant, right? And cos is negative in second and third quadrant. Second and third quadrant are not the part of the given domain, right? So we are just dealing with this case. So in the first quadrant, what is the value for theta? Theta value is basically equals to the base angle. So here theta is x. So x is your base angle. Base angle, B for base and S for angle. Okay, so here we can say, since x is between 0 and pi by 2, according to given domain, cos is positive in first quadrant, because in the given domain that's the first quadrant is used. So but actually cos is positive in first and fourth. We are not dealing with the fourth. Cos is negative in second and third. Second and third are not in the domain, so we are not considering this case. Okay, so in the first quadrant, what is your value for x? The value for x is your base angle, and this is your base angle up to 3. Significant figure is 0 is not a significant figure, 7 is a significant figure, 4 is a significant figure, and then we have 2, because we have next digit is 4. It is not 5 or more than 5. If it is, then we round up. So the x value is 0.742 radians. This is the only solution, which is between 0 and pi by 2. Question number 2, a curve has equation. This is equation of the curve. Find the gradient of the curve dy over dx at a point 2, 1, when x is 2 and the y is 1. Okay, so the curve is, we need to find differentiate with respect to x. The whole curve is x square ln y plus y square plus 4x minus 9 equals to 0. I shift the 9 on the other side, right? Now, when you do the derivative of x square ln y, applying the product rule, d by dx of y square plus 4 is outside, d by dx of x minus 9 is outside, d by dx of 1 equals to 0, right? Okay, applying the product rule over here, the first function is as it is, derivative of the second function, natural log of y, plus the second function is as it is, derivative of the first function, d by dx of x square, right? This one is derivative is 2y, because y square derivative is 2y, and dy over dx, d by dx of y. Okay, this is 4, because d by dx of x is just 1, and minus 0, because derivative of 1 is 0 and 0 times minus 9 is 0. Okay, this is x square, derivative of natural log of y is 1 over y and dy over dx, plus natural log of y is as it is, x square derivative is 2x plus 2y dy over dx plus 4 equals to 0. Okay, now let me combine dy by dx terms. 1 over y dy over dx and plus 2y dy over dx. These two are the dy by dx term, right? And the rest of the constant term move on the other side. Negative 4, negative 2x, natural log of y. This is x square as well. X square 1 over y dy over dx, 2y dy over dx. These two are the constant terms, right? 2x and natural log of y, right? Okay, so x square divided by y plus 2y. These are the coefficients of dy over dx. And this is equals to negative 4, negative 2x, natural log of y, right? Now solve for the derivative dy over dx. This is minus 4 minus 2x ln y divides x square over y plus 2y. Okay, now we need to figure out the gradient of the curve. This is a gradient of the curve at the point 2 and 1, right? Okay, dy over dx at x is equals to 2 and y equals to 1. So what is this derivative? Let me figure out. Minus 4 is as it is, minus 2x value is 2, natural log y value is 1, divides x value is 2, 2 square, y value is 1, plus 2, y value is 1. Natural log of 1 is 0. You can check as well. This is 0, right? Now dy over dx at 2 1, this would be negative 4. Negative 4 ln of 1 is 0, divides 2 square is 4, plus 2. 2 square is 4, 4 by 1 is 4, 2 times 1 is just 2. So here we have minus 4 divides 6. 4 plus 2 is 6, minus 4, this term is only 0. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 would be 6. This is the derivative. So the gradient of the curve at the point 2 1 is negative 2 by 3. This is the answer. All right. Question number 3, part A. Sketch on the same diagram the graph of the absolute function and the linear function. This is a straight line, this is the V shape. Okay, so it is better to figure out the x and the y intercept method. Yes. Okay, let me write down this function f of absolute of 3x minus 8, right? So this is basically y equals to plus minus 3x minus 8. Here we have two functions, y equals to 3x minus 8, and the other one is y equals to minus 3x plus 8. One with the positive and one with the negative, right? Okay, now if I figure out what are the x and the y intercept. So for x intercept, you have to put the variable y equals to 0. When we put the variable y equals to 0, what is your x value? 3x minus 8 is equals to 0, and x value is shift the 8 on the other side, positive 8 over 3. And what is 8 by 3? 2.67. Okay, same. Find out the y intercept. For y-intercept, you have to put the variable x is equals to 0. When the x value equals to 0, what is your y? Y equals to 3 into 0 minus 8. So y value is negative 8. Okay. On the other hand, find out the x-intercept for this. For x-intercept, same. Variable is equals to 0. So minus 3x plus 8 equals to 0. So x would be equals to minus 8 over minus 3. Minus is cancelled with minus, which is 2.67 again. And for y-intercept, I have to put x should be equals to 0. When x is equals to 0, the variable y is equals to minus 3 into 0 plus 8. So y is 8. Okay. And let me do for the this equation y equals to 5 minus x. Okay, the other equation is y equals to 5 minus x. Find out the x and the y intercept. Okay, when x is equals to 0, the y is equals to 5, and when y value equals to 0, the x is equals to, when y is 0, x is equals to 5. Okay, now we can easily plot them. So the x and for x we need positive 5 and positive 2 by 2.6. And for y values we need 5, 8 and minus 8. Okay, let me draw the graph on the same diagram. Okay, now we need 8 and minus 8 for x, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So the y-intercept is 8 and 5. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So where is 5? This is 5 over here. This is the y-intercept is 5, y-intercept is 8, and downward as well. Minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, minus 8, minus 10, minus 12, minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, minus 8, minus 10, and minus 12. Same for the x. Same scale we have to use for the x values, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So if this is 2, then this point would be 2.6, right? 2.678 over 3. This is your x-intercept for the absolute function. You can see the x-intercept is same, 8 over 3 or 2.67. The y-intercepts are 8 and minus 8. Okay, this is minus 8. Let me plot this one first. This curve, and we are not joining this point because for absolute function we are just considering the positive one. Okay, the v shape. Okay, now for the linear one, x is 5, y is also 5. For the linear one, x value is 5. Okay, 2, 4, this is 4, this is 6, so 5 is in the middle, 5 is over here, y is also 5. Let me join both of them. This is the purple one, is a graph for the straight line. Okay, right. Now for part B, solve the inequality that the absolute function is less than the linear function. Okay, so this is absolute function and this is a straight line when it is less, right? So absolute, we can open absolute as plus minus 3x minus 8 is less than 5 minus x. In order to get rid of this plus minus, I want to take a squaring on both sides. Squaring on both sides, because the square of plus is plus, square of minus is also plus. Okay, and as you see, they have 2 point of intersection, so we are considering both the positive function and the negative function. So for squaring, we have 3x minus 8 whole square is less than 5 minus x whole square. So a minus b whole square, a square minus 2ab plus b square. So we have 9x square minus 2 into 3x into 8. 2 into 3 into 8 would be 48, minus 48x, and 8 times 8 is 64, right? This is less, 5 square is 25, minus 2 into 5 is 10x plus x square. Okay, I would like to shift every term to the left side. So x square, 9x square minus 48x plus 64 minus 25 plus 10x minus x square. This is less than 0. Less, yes. Okay, so 9x square and x square is just 8x square. Minus 48 and plus 10 is minus 38x. From 64, take away 25. 39 plus 39, this is less than 0. Okay, so this looked like a quadratic equation, so let me apply the quadratic formula to find the roots. We have to consider 8x square minus 38x plus 39 equals to 0, and apply the quadratic formula. X equals to minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac, everything divided by 2a, where a is a coefficient of x square, b is a coefficient of x, and c is a constant term 39. Okay. Now let me substitute. X would be equals to minus b is minus 38, plus minus square root b is minus 38 square, minus 4 times a value is 8 and the c value is 39, divides 2 times of a is 8. Let me simplify the square root first. So bracket minus 38 square minus 4 into 8 into 39 and the square root of answer is 14, right? So here we have 38 plus minus 14, and 2 times 8 is 16. So what are two values for x? 38 plus 14 over 16. 38 plus 14 divided by 16. 38 plus 14 divided by 16. 13 over 4. This is 13 by 4. And the other solution is x is equals to 38 minus 14 over 16. 38 minus 14 divided by 16 is 3 by 2. This is 3 by 2. Okay, what are the set of values of x? These are the two solutions. 3 by 2 is 1.5 and 13 by 4 is 3.25. Okay, now if I move back to this quadratic expression, now this is a quadratic equation, right? And the shape of the graph of the quadratic equation is a u-shaped graph or a parabola. And as we know that the x square coefficient is positive, so the opening is upward. So if I can draw that parabola, okay, let me draw that parabola. Its opening is upward, right? So this point is 1.5, which is 3 by 2, and this point is 3.25, which is 13 by 4. These are the two zeros or the x-intercepts, we can say, or the two roots of this quadratic equation which we have solved, 13 by 4 and 3 by 2, right? These are the two roots. Now we need to check that when this equation is less than 0, when the solution is less than 0, when the x values are between 3 by 2 and 13 by 4, it is less than 0, right? Okay, so now we can write down the solution that when the x values are between 3 by 2 is less than x is less than 13 by 4, we can say 8x square minus 38x plus 39. This quadratic equation is less than 0. So this is the solution. These are the set of values of x where this inequality holds. Now moving to part C, hence determine the larger integer. Okay, hence means use the answer from the above part. You determine the largest integer n satisfy the inequality. This inequality 3x minus 8 absolute is less than 5 minus x. So x is replaced with e to the power 0.1 n. Now we can see this inequality is exactly the same which is in part B, which is absolute of 3x minus 8 is less than 5 minus x, right? Absolute of 3x minus 8 is less than 5 minus x, hence means use this result, right? So we know that when absolute of 3x minus 8 is less than 5 minus x, its solution is 3 over 2 is less than x is less than 13 by 4, right, for x. Now if we can say let x is equals to e to the power 0.1 n, we have to replace the variable x with 0.1, e0 power 0.1 n. So here we can say absolute of 3 e to the power 0.1 n minus 8 is less than 5 minus e to the power 0.1 n. So what is its solution is 3 by 2 is less than e to the power 0.1 n is less than 13 by 4. Okay, now we need to determine the largest integer, right? Just one integer. So here we have two solutions. 3 by 2 is less than e to the power 0.1 n, or e to the power 0.1 n should be less than 13 by 4. To solve for n, we can take natural log on both sides. So natural log of 3 by 2 is less than 0.1 n comes before the power natural log of e, and on the other hand natural log of e and 0.1 n comes before the log and natural log of 13 by 4. Okay, so what natural log of e is just 1, so natural log of 3 by 2 is less than 0.1 n. Natural log of e is 1. So 0.1 n is less than natural log of 13 by 4, right? So here we can say natural log of 3 by 2 divides 0.1. This value should be less than n, and here n is less than natural log of 13 by 4 over 0.1. Let me solve both values for n and pick the one which is the largest. Okay, natural log 3 by 2 divide 0.1 is 4.1 is less than n, and the other one is natural log 13 by 4 divide 0.1, n should be less than 11.8. Okay, here n should be less than 11.8, so which value of n is less than 11.8? So, and it should be integer, n less than 11.8. So here n should be equals to 11. The value which is less than 11.8 is 11. And what is the solution from here? N should be greater than 4.1. So here the n is equals to 5, we can say, right? So here n should be integer, right? So which integer value is less than 11.8, which is 11, and which integer value is more than 4.1, which is 5? So which one is the largest? So here we can say the largest integer n is 11. This is the largest one. 5 is not the largest one. So this is the largest integer n which satisfy the given inequality. Question number 4, part A, show that the left hand side is always equals to the right hand side. So let me start from the left hand side. So it is left hand side. Alright, my left hand side is 3 tangent of 2 theta. Double angle formula for tangent we need to open, plus tangent of theta plus 45. So the sum formula of tangent we have to open over here, right? So the double angle formula for tangent is tangent of 2 theta is equals to 2 tan theta divides 1 minus tan square theta, right? And what is a sum formula for tangent? Tangent of A plus B. This is equals to tangent A plus tangent B divides 1 minus tangent A into tangent B. For these two formulas, we have 3 tan 2 theta is this, which is 2 tan theta over 1 minus tan square theta, plus tan A plus B is tangent of A plus tangent of B divides 1 minus tangent of A into tangent of B, which is 45 degrees. And tan 45 is 1. You can check in degrees. Tangent 45 degrees 1. Okay. So here we have 3 times 2, 6 tan theta divides 1 minus tan square theta plus tan theta plus 1 divides 1 minus tan theta. Okay, now take the LCM. So 6, 1 minus tan theta. We can open this at tan theta over 1 minus tan theta into 1 plus tan theta. Difference of square formula I applied. A square minus b square is a plus b into a minus b, plus 1 plus tan theta over 1 minus tan theta. Now take the LCM. 1 minus tan theta is here. Multiply with 1 plus tan theta. Okay. So 6 tan theta plus 1 plus tan theta into 1 plus tan theta. What I did, 6 tan theta, this is as it is because the denominator is complete here. And for this, it has 1 minus tan theta, but not 1 plus tan theta to multiply with 1 plus tan theta. Everything divides by 1 plus tan theta and 1 minus tan theta. Okay, so here we have 6 tan theta plus distribute the 1 plus tan theta, distribute tan theta. This is tan theta plus tan square theta divides 1 plus tan, 1 minus tan is 1 minus tan square theta. So we got the denominator 1 minus tan square theta. Now this is tan square theta. 1, 2, and 3 terms are in tan theta. 6, 7, 8. So this is 8 tan theta and plus 1 divides 1 minus tan square theta. This is your right hand side. It is proved. Tan square plus 8 tan plus 1. Tan square plus 8 tan plus 1 over 1 minus tan square. Right. Now for part B, hence solve the equation. This equation equals to 4 where theta is between 0 to 180 degrees. Okay, we know that 3 tan 2 theta plus tan theta plus 45 degree. What is this equals to? This is equals to that term. So we can say this whole thing is equals to tan square theta plus 8 tan theta plus 1 divides 1 minus tan square theta. This is equals to 4. We can do a cross multiplication. Tangent square theta plus 8 tangent theta plus 1 equals to 4 minus 4 tan square theta. Shift all the terms to the left. Tan square plus 8 tan plus 1 minus 4 plus 4 tan square. Alright. Now this is tan square term. Tan square and tan square, which is 4 plus 1. This is 5 tan square plus 8 tan, and 1 minus 4 is minus 3. This is the quadratic equation in tan theta. Okay, now we can factorize it or we can apply the quadratic formula. Let me check if the factorization is possible. Let me apply the quadratic formula. Tan theta is equals to negative b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac divides 2a, where a is equals to 5, b is equals to 8, and c is a constant which is negative 3. Okay, let me substitute everything into the formula. Okay, so now we have tan theta is equals to negative of 8 plus minus square root 8 square minus 4 times 5 times negative 3 divides 2 times 5. Okay, let me simplify the square root. 8 square plus 4 into 5 into 3, because minus times minus is plus, 2 root 31. So tan theta is negative 8 plus minus 2 square root of 31 divides 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, further simplification, taking 2 common from the numerator. 2 is common, minus 4 plus minus root 31 divides 10. Okay, and 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 5 is 10. So here we have tan theta is equals to minus 4 plus minus square root of 31 divided by 5. Okay, now we have two cases from here. Tangent theta is minus 4 plus root 31 divided by 5, and the other case is tan theta is minus 4 minus root 31 divided by 5. Okay, this gives you the positive or negative. Minus 4 plus root 31 divided by 5. It's positive. Tangent is positive over here. Right. This says tangent is positive. and the other one minus 4 minus root 31 divided by 5. Tangent is negative. Okay, so the first thing is to figure out the base angle. So for the base angle, we can do theta equals to tangent inverse of minus 4 plus square root of 31 divided by 5. And the base angle in this case is theta equals to tangent inverse of, we have to consider the positive 4 plus root 31, positive 4 and positive root 31, because the base angle we are not considering the negative sign, right? Okay, so if we do minus 4 plus square root of 31 divides 5, this expression is tangent. This is in degrees, right? Because the domain is in from 0 to 180. So your calculator should be in degrees to find out the base angle. Tangent inverse of answer. This is theta equals to 17.4089. 089 becomes 90. 090. Okay. So what is the theta value over here? 4 plus root 31. Sorry. 4 plus root 31 divided by 5. Okay, if you can do minus 4 minus root 31 divided by 5 times by minus 1, make it positive, find out tangent inverse. This is 62.4090. 89 rounds to 90. Okay, so these are the two base angles. Here tangent is negative and here tangent is positive. So the domain we have given is from 0 to 180 degree. Theta value should lies between 0 to 180 degree. Let me draw the coordinate diagram and check tangent is positive in which quadrant and negative in which quadrant, right? So here is a coordinate diagram, and the domain we have given is from 0 degree to 180 degree. So this is the whole domain, 0 to 180. In first quadrant all trigonometric ratios are positive, in second quadrant sine is positive, right? So this solution is the base angle. Here we do the base angle and here we do 180 degree minus the base angle. Okay, now tangent is positive in the first quadrant and negative in the second quadrant according to the domain from 0 to 180 degree, right? So this equation says tangent is positive. So here we can say tangent is positive in first quadrant. When you do from 0 to 180 degree, tangent is positive in the first quadrant. So what is the value for theta? Theta is equals to the base angle, which is 17.4 degrees. We can say this is a first solution, and the second solution says tangent is negative. Here tangent is negative, right? So tangent is negative in second quadrant. So what is the answer for theta? Theta is 180 degree minus the base angle, which is 62.4090. Okay. 180 minus 62.4090. Theta is 117.6 degrees. So these are the two solutions which are in the range from 0 to 180 degree. 17.4 and 117.6. Question number 5. A curve has equation. This is equation of the curve. The curve has exactly one stationary point P. Okay. Part A, find dy by dx and hence show that the x coordinate of P satisfies this equation. Okay. So first find dy over dx. Applying the quotient rule over here, the denominator function, derivative of the numerator function, minus the numerator function and derivative d by dx of the denominator function 1 plus 3x, right? Everything divides by the square of the denominator function, 1 plus 3x whole square. Okay, so now dy over dx is 1 plus 3x is as it is. Derivative of 1 is 0. Derivative of e to the power 2x 2 times e to the power 2x minus 1 plus e to the power 2x is as it is. 1 derivative is 0. 3x derivative is just 3. Okay. This thing divides 1 plus 3x whole square. Okay. Let me simplify it further. Dy over dx is 2 e to the power 2x is multiplied by 1 and multiplied by 3. 3 times 2 would be 6x e to the power 2x minus 3 and minus 3 e to the power 2x. Divides 1 plus 3x whole square. Further simplification, dy over dx is 6x e to the power 2x, and we have minus e to the power 2x because 3 2 minus 3 is just minus 1 minus 3 divides 1 plus 3x whole square. This is dy over dx, right? So the first thing is to figure out what is the derivative. So this is a derivative. Now we need to show that the x coordinate of the stationary point satisfies this equation, right? Okay, now we can say for stationary point, we need to put dy over dx equals to 0. Okay, this means 6x e to the power 2x minus e to the power 2x minus 3 divides 1 plus 3x whole square. This should be equals to 0. The denominator multiplying by 0 is 0. 6x e to the power 2x minus e to the power 2x minus 3 should be equals to 0, right? Okay. Let me take e to the power 2x common, and here we have 6x minus 1 minus 3 equals to 0. Now e to the power 2x into 6x minus 1, shift the 3 on the other side, positive 3. 6x minus 1 is as it is, 3 divides e to the power 2x, right? Now 6x is 3 over e to the power 2x, and shift the 1 on the other side is plus 1. Now 6x is 3 e to the power minus 2x plus 1. I just shift the exponential from denominator to the numerator, and x would be equals to 3 over 6 e to the power minus 2x plus 1 over 6, divided both sides by 6. So here x would be equals to 1 over 6 is as it is, and 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6 e to the power minus 2x. Now the x coordinate of stationary point P satisfies this equation. We need to show that 1 over 6 plus 1 over 2 e to the power minus 2x. It is proved. Now for part B, show by calculation that the x coordinate of P lies between 0.35 and 0.45. If the x coordinate of P lies between these two numbers, then there must be a sign change. For sign change, we have to make a function f of x. F of x is 1 over 6 plus 1 over 2 e to the power minus 2x and minus x. You have to make this function 1 by 6, 1 by 2 e to the power minus 2x, and shift x on the other side, right? Okay. Now in x, just substitute the value. What is the function value at 0.35? 1 over 6 plus 1 over 2 e to the power minus 2 into 0.35 minus 0.35. Okay, let me solve this. 1 over 6 plus 1 by 2 into e to the power minus 2 times 0.35 bracket and minus 0.35. Okay, this is 0.065. Okay, now the other one is, what is f of 0.45? This is 1 over 6 plus 1 over 2 e to the power minus 2 into 0.45 and minus 0.45. Okay. 1 by 6 plus 1 by 2, its product with e to the power minus 2 times 0.45 and minus 0.45. This is negative 0.080. Now you can see there is a sign change. When you put 0.45 in the function value, it is positive, and when you put 0.35, it is positive, 0.45, it is negative, right? So we can say, since there is a sign change, this implies x coordinate of p lies between 0.35 and 0.45. Now for part C, use an iterative formula based on the equation in part A. Find the x-coordinate of P correct to 3 significant figure. Give the result of each iteration correct to 5 significant figure. The first step is to make the iterative formula. Okay, for iterative formula, and then we need the initial guess as well, right? So the iterative formula is x subscript n plus 1 is equals to 1 over 6, this result, right? This one I'm using, plus 1 over 2 e to the power minus 2xn, and the initial guess x naught. As we know that the x coordinate of p lies between these two, so we need to pick the initial guess from these two, 0.35 till 0.45. We can say 0.40 is the initial guess. We can fix, we can take any number between them. 0.39 you can take, 0.636 you can take, 0.42 you can take. This is your choice, right? Okay, let me start the iterations. We can say for n is equals to 0, when n value is 0, we have x1, which is 1 over 6 plus 1 over 2 e to the power minus 2 x0. X0 is 0.40. Okay, bracket 1 by 6 plus bracket 1 by 2 multiply bracket e to the power minus 2 times x naught, 0.40. This is 0.3, 0.5 significant figures, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 0.39133. Okay, so when n is equals to 1, for n equals to 1, we have x2, 1 plus 1 x2, which is 1 over 6 plus 1 over 2 e to the power minus 2 x1. This is your x1, which is the solution. Minus 2 multiplied by answer, 0.3952, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 6. 5 significant figures. Next iteration, when n value is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, x3 is 1 over 6 plus 1 over 2 e to the power minus 2 x2. This is your x2. 0.3934, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 7. Yes. Okay, next iteration, when n is equals to 3, we have x4 equals to 1 over 6 plus 1 over 2 e to the power minus 2 x3. This is your x3, which is the answer. 0.39428. Okay, up to so on. Yeah, we did four iterations. You can do one more or two more. This is your choice. Now, these iterations are up to five significant figures. Now, we need to guess the x coordinate of p up to three significant figures, right? This implies the x coordinate of p up to three significant figure is x is equals to 0.3. You can see 0.3, 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. 9 is a constant, 9. And then we have 1, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2. So it's 4 we can take. 0.9394. This is the x coordinate for p up to three significant figures. Question number 6. The diagram shows the curve with equation. This is equation of the curve for x is between 0 and pi by 6. Right? The shaded region is bounded by the curve and the straight line x equals to pi by 6 and y equals to 0. Right? Part A, use the trapezium rule with the two intervals, means the n value is 2, to find an approximation for the area of the shaded region. Give your answer correct to two significant figures, right? Trapezium rule is basically used to find out the area, right? So the trapezium rule is used to figure out the area of the shaded region. So area of the shaded region is 1 over 2 into b minus a over n into, we have two intervals, it means we need to figure out the function value at a plus 2 times the function value at a plus h plus the function value at b, means two intervals means three values inside the bracket. Okay, so what is a, b and n? So a is 0, b is pi over 6, and n is 2. Okay, and what is your h? H is b minus a over n, where h is equals to b minus a over n. So b value is pi by 6, a value is 0, n value is 2. So this is pi over 6 times 2 is 12. Pi by 12 is your h, right? Okay, now the area is half the h value, which is pi by 12, into the function value at 0 plus 2 times the function value at 0 plus h, which is pi by 12, plus the function value at b, which is pi by 6. What is your function f of x? This is your function f of x, right? Okay, now this area is pi over 2 times 12 is 24. The function value at 0 we need to figure out, which is sine 2 times 0 plus sine square 2 times 0. Square root of sine 0 plus sine square of 0 plus 2 times square root of sine 2x plus sine square 2x plus square root of sine 2x is pi by 6, f of 6 I'm solving, plus sine square 2 pi times pi by 6 and the bracket. So this area is pi over 24. Sine 0 is 0. Sine square 0 is 0. This is in radians, right? This is in radians. Sine of 0 is 0. So 0 plus 0 is 0. Square root of 0 is 0. Don't consider it. So we have just this 2. What is 2 by 12, which is 6. Sine pi by 6. This is sine pi by 6 and sine pi by 6 square plus sine pi by 6 square 3 by 4. Square root of 3 by 4 plus All right, so this is sine 2 times 6 is 12. Sine pi by 6 plus sine pi by 6 square, which is 3 by 4. We have done 2 root 3 by 4. And this is sine pi by 3. This is, and the square root. Okay, the square root of 3 plus 2 root 3 divided by 4. Now let me solve the answer for area up to two significant figures, right? Okay. Now let me simplify the square root of 3 plus 2 root 3 divided by 4 plus this is 2 and root 4 is just also 2. Square root of 3 and multiply by pi by 24. 0.393. So the area up to two significant figure is 0.39. Up to two significant figures. This is the answer for the shaded area by using the trapezium rule. Now for part B, the shaded region is rotated completely about x-axis. Find the exact volume of the solid produced. So the volume with x-axis is pi integration from a to b y square dx. Right. This is your y, and y square with square without the square root, take the square. So sine 2x plus sine square 2x, right? And the a and b limits are from 0 to pi by 6. So vx is pi integration from 0 to pi by 6. Y square is sine 2x plus sine square 2x dx. Okay. Okay, let me split the integral. We have pi integration sine 2x, integration of sine 2x is possible. Sine 2x integration is minus cos 2x divided by 2. But sine square 2x integration is not possible. Okay, so we have to use the formula here that sine square x is 1 minus cos 2x divided by 2. Sorry, 2 when we have just x, but when we have sine square 2x is 1 minus cos 2 into 2x by 2. So this is 1 minus cos 4x divided by 2 dx. Okay, so volume would be pi is outside. Sine 2x integration is minus cos 2x, and 2x derivative is just 2, plus 1 over 2 integration is 1 by 2x minus 1 by 2 is as it is. Cos integration is sine 4x. Cos 4x is sine 4x divided by 4, and the limits are from 0 to pi by 6. Okay, sine integration is cos and 2x is 2. 1 over 2 integration is 1 over 2x minus 1 by 2 is as it is. Cos integration is sine 4x, and 4x derivative is just 4, right? Simplify. Volume is pi minus cos 2x divided by 2 plus 1 over 2x minus sine 2x divided by 8, 0 to pi by 6. Let me substitute the limits. Pi is outside, the upper limit is pi by 6, minus 1 by 2 is outside, cos 2 pi by 6 plus 1 by 2 is as it is, pi by 6, minus 1 over 8 is outside, sine 2 pi by 6. This is the upper limit. Subtract the lower limit is 0. Minus 1 by 2 cos 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 by 2 x value is 0 minus 1 over 8 sine 0. Okay. Sine 0 is 0. This is 0. Cos 0 is just 1. So we are left with minus 1 by 2 and times with minus, so it is plus 1 by 2 from this bracket. So Vx is pi. Okay. 2 pi over 6 is pi by 3, right? Cos pi by 3. Cos pi by 3 is 1 by 2 times minus 1 by 2 is minus 1 by 4. And this is pi over 2 times 6 is 12 minus sine pi by 3 times by negative 1 over 8 minus root 3 over 16. And this is negative times negative is positive 1 by 2. Cos 0 is 1, this is 0, sine 0 is 0. Okay, we need to find the exact formula, right? So volume would be, what is this? 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 4 is 1 by 4. So pi 1 by 4 plus pi by 12 minus root 3 over 16. So multiply by pi. So the exact volume is pi by 4 plus pi square over 12 minus root 3 over 16 pi. This is the answer for the exact volume. Okay. Question number 7. The polynomial p of x is defined by, this is a polynomial p of x where k is a constant part a. Find the quotient when p of x is divided by 2x plus 3x plus 2 and show that the remainder is k minus 8. The remainder we need to show and it is divided. Okay. Figure out the quotient. All right. So we need to find out the quotient. It is divided by 3x plus 2. The quotient we are going to write at the top, and the polynomial is 9x cube plus 6x square plus 12x plus some k. Remainder should be k minus 8, right? Okay. Now 3x plus 2 multiply by what to get 9x cube? 3 times 3 is 9, x square times x would be x cube. 9x cube 3 times 2 is 6x square. Okay, so multiply by 3x square and you will get 9x cube plus 6x square. Okay, now we have to change the signs. Okay, changing the sign, this is negative and this is also negative. Positive 9x cube and negative 9x cube plus 6x square minus 6x square is cancelled out. We are left with 12k plus 12x plus k. Okay, so now 3x plus 2 is multiplied by what to make 12? 4. 4 times 3 is 12x, 4 times 2 is 8. Multiplied by 4, 12x plus 8. Now change the signs, and plus 12x and minus 12x is just 0. It is cancelled out. And we have k minus 8 is the remainder, right? Now this thing is the remainder and this thing is a quotient. Okay, now we can say the quotient is, we need to figure out the quotient, which is 3x square plus 4, and we need to show that the remainder should be k minus 8. Okay, now for part b, it is given that the integral, that the polynomial divided by 3x minus 2 dx is this, where a is an integer. A value is an integer. Keep it in mind. Find the values of a and k. A should be integer and k is any constant. Okay. All right. So we know that when the polynomial is divided by 3x plus 2, we can write this down as quotient plus remainder over the divisor. Okay, now we can say p of x divides 3x plus 2. This is a quotient which is 3x square plus 4, plus the remainder is k minus 8, and the divisor is 3x plus 2. Okay, all right. Now we can take integration of both sides. This implies the integration of polynomial 3x plus 2 dx. This should be equals to the integration of 3x square plus 4 plus k minus 8 over 3x plus 2 dx. And the limits are from 1 to 6. Okay. Okay, now we need to simplify, split the integral with 3x square dx, integration of 4 dx, plus integration of k minus 8 over 3x plus 2 dx. Okay, now 3x square integration is x cube over 3 plus 4x plus k minus 8 is a constant. 1 over x integration is ln of x, which is 3x plus 2, and the derivative of 3x plus 2 is 3. And the whole we need to solve from 0 to 1 to 6. Sorry, not from 0 to 6. The limits are from 1 to 6. Okay. Now here we have x cube plus 4x plus k minus 8 divided by 3, natural log of 3x plus 2. The limits we have to simplify from 1 till 66. Now let me substitute the limits, the upper and the lower limit. Right. Now we can say apply limits. Right. Upper limit is 6. 6 cube plus 4 times 6 plus k minus 8 over 3, natural log of 3 times 6 plus 2. This is your upper limit, minus the lower limit is 1. So 1 cube is just 1, plus 4 times 1 is 4, plus k minus 8 over 3, and natural log of 3 plus 2, which is 5. Right. 6 cube is 216. 4 times 6 is 24. K minus 8 over 3. This is natural log of 3 times 6 is 18, and 18 plus 2 is 20. Upper limit, subtract the lower limit is 1 plus 4 plus k minus 8 over 3, natural log of 5. Okay, 216 and 24. 216 plus 24 is 240. 240 plus k minus 8 over 3, natural log of 20. This thing, subtract 1 plus 4 is 5, plus k minus 8 over 3, natural log of 5. Okay, open the bracket. 240 plus k minus 8 over 3, natural log of 20, minus 5 minus k minus 8 over 3, natural log of 5. Now 240 minus 5 plus k minus 8 over 3 is common, and in the bracket natural log of 20 minus natural log of 5. 240 and minus 5, I combined this. I took this common, and ln 40, but 20 minus ln 5 is left. From 240 take away 5 is 235, and this is k minus 8 over 3, and here we have natural log of 20 over 5. When we have in the subtraction, difference come into the quotient, right? 5 times 4 is 20. 235 plus k minus 8 over 3, natural log of 4. Okay, and in the question we have given that The answer of this integral is a plus ln 64. It is given that, right? Okay. So use the information which is given. You can say given that we have given that 235 plus k minus 8 over 3 natural log of 4. This is equals to a plus ln 64. Now, if we do the comparison, a is equals to 235, which is an integer, and to get the value for k, we can say 235 plus natural log of 4, and its power is k minus 8 over 3 equals to a plus natural log of 4 cube is 64, right? Now we can do a comparison. When we comparing it, you will get a is equals to 235. A value is 235 plus natural log 4. Compare the powers as well. K minus 8 over 3 is equals to 3, right? 3 times 3 is 9. K minus 8 is 3 times 3, which is equals to 9. And K would be equals to 9 plus 8. 9 plus 8 is 17. So here we can say k value is 17, which is a constant, and a value is 235, which is an integer. Okay, so that was the last question of our paper. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.